Okay, here we are. Real talk. Real talk. How old are you today? How old are you today? It's really about how you feel, not by your age number. I'm going to turn 42 on Monday. Do you think I'm worried about that? No, but there was a time that I was. There was a time that I could never even envision myself standing in front of a 4K camera talking to you with a ring light in my face. I just couldn't. In fact, I can barely see that ring light. I've aged. I'm 42 almost. I need these, but I can't use them because you're going to see the reflection of the ring light in them. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to blindly talk to you into the camera on YouTube constantly because I love it and it helps innovate and it helps me share the information that I may have learned over time with you. And that's what I'm trying to do with this channel. And I'm trying to make sure you can do with this channel as well. Leave in the comments how you're feeling today. Are you feeling old? Are you feeling young? Are you feeling new and refreshed? I hope it's the new and refreshed part. But again, leave it. Tell us how you're feeling. We'll all talk to you via the comments and get in with this whole thing with you guys. So this is a big topic. This is a really big topic. I want to circle back to when I used to work for a major American bank who was in Canada at the time. And that was my time. That was my coming out party in my career. You know, I certainly did not see that there could be opportunities to slow down because I was like a freight train. I was in my 20s. I was a loan officer at the time. I made assistant manager really quickly. Management loved me. Regional management loved me. Got to assistant manager, got to branch manager. I managed one of the branches, one of the smallest branches in the country, to number one in the country, even though the market would not suggest that that branch could ever get anywhere close to number one. At 28, I was flying. Then I went off to the University of Learning Things and had children. But then also on top of that, I was still considered young, still considered one of the youngest in the company to be doing the things that I was doing. I was innovating. I was bringing new things. I went to one of the biggest insurance companies in Canada and I went to their management team. I was super excited, got an opportunity to reinvent recruiting for them. And I brought in social media, something they were not doing. I brought in different software that they were not doing. And it was so fun to see all of the veteran people who are now at my age today, who were my age then, that I am today. I think we got that. They were, against what I was doing. They've always done it this way, and this change is ridiculous, but the change is working, and that makes me even more mad because the new stuff this kid is bringing in is doing the job. And boy, oh boy, was I winning. Right up to, 35 years of age, I was still one of the youngest to be on the senior management team. I was still one of the youngest out there to be bringing in new ideas and bringing in new things. And then TikTok happened and divorce happened and life just happened. Things started to slow down, and all of a sudden I became or started to become in my late 30s and early 40s. I started to become that stale, stagnant person who was even starting to scowl at the 22, 23-year-old who was starting to come into the company I was at the time, making changes and pushing for difference. And this is where we really have to stick tight to our innovation, to our own innovation, to our ability to change. That's today's topic. We had a lot of fun reviewing my sleigh ride to the top and then the heavy sleigh ride down. But listen, it wasn't a sleigh ride down by anybody else's fault but my own. And so if you're going to do this, if you're going to be somebody who makes a difference in this world, if you're going to be somebody who enjoys your career, if you're going to be somebody who enjoys what you're doing for the rest of your life, you're going to have to be somebody who's willing to innovate and willing to reinvent yourself always, not just yesterday, not just 2 years ago, not just 5 years ago, today too. We've got to be constantly reinventing ourselves. And I think about it as the past. I look at some of the people that I dealt with when I was with Wells Fargo, and they would never have thought to get on Facebook. They were in their 40s. Why would they ever do that? Now they peruse Facebook and post something every single day. We've got people now that are saying the same things about a TikTok or Instagram, less so about Instagram. You're starting to see the older generations get into Instagram a little bit more. And older generations, all I'm talking about is my own generation, just 40s, right? But you're also seeing, the people are still poo-pooing things like TikTok, and they're still knocking things down, even though there's tremendous opportunity. We interviewed a guy for my current business at BHB TV who's Scott Bentley, and throw a huge shout out to Scott Bentley and his hundreds of thousands of followers on especially on Instagram and on TikTok. He 10x'd his business because he was embracing the ability through TikTok to do something different, to reinvent himself, to reinvent his business. And he talks about how he did that. And that was a big trigger for me. Because we were running a sort of educational software, but it was just your typical educational software. It had nothing really too special about it other than you could learn on an app, but so could most other places. We then reinvented to be in a Netflix style education platform, and it took off from there. And so reinventing is the key. You can never become in your career that person who poo-poos the thing that's coming in. I've said poo-poo a lot in this video, by the way. Is anybody going to know? That's good. Okay. So we are going to just talk about that because, if you're knocking down the latest technologies, if you're knocking down the latest thing just because you don't understand it, then you're causing yourself trouble for your future. That's how you stagnate. If you feel like you're stagnant, it's because you didn't move forward. If you're sitting there talking about the new kid on the block in your work, and she's dropped this whole new process with TikTok that's working, and now all of a sudden the company's getting more successful, and you as the superstar are no longer the superstar because she has come in and taken that superstar from you. What if you went up to that person and learned from them? What if we spent the same amount of time we spend today complaining about the new things, complaining about the change, embracing it instead? What if you were to look at this change as something you could now do, something you could incorporate into your business, even if you don't understand it right away? I can tell you, I would be 100 times further in my career now if I had embraced things like TikTok, if I had embraced things like some of the new things going on, Salesforce and all of that stuff, and stopped using spreadsheets like I was using back in the day. All of those things would have hastened my success rather than stalled it. So if you're sitting there today feeling stalled, that's your answer. Stop fighting the process. Stop fighting what's coming. In fact, if you can, even try to find out or figure out what's beyond TikTok. What is the next thing that you're going to be able to use in your business? And I promise you, with that better attitude and that better mindset toward what you're going to do and develop in your career, not just your career, your life in general, the stagnation will be gone. The stagnation will be completely gone, and you'll get an opportunity to ride alongside that young person that's come in, and stop looking at them like a street youth that's on crack cocaine or whatever you're saying about them now that you thought you'd never say because your parents said it. Enough with the get off my lawn attitude, and more with the get on the track and get on the train and follow along with what's going on. That doesn't mean you have to be a follower. You can find new ways to lead using the technologies, using the processes, using the new things that are being introduced and released to you today. Doesn't mean you have to do it their way, but use it your way. Imagine picking up TikTok and using it your way at 62 years of age. I bet you anything you get trillions of followers because you're doing it differently than everyone else. So take that and use that and be the one that does it differently than everyone else, and you will succeed, not just in your career, but in life in general, and you're going to be a lot happier while you do it.